So I've been tasked to make some picture frames out of some old barn siding. These people had their barn torn down. I think they replaced it with a newer one. And so they wanted something to keep as a memento from the barn, and they wanted me to make picture frames out of it. So what I have here is, it's a tongue and groove. There we go, right there. So I think what the plan is to make the picture frames, because of that tongue and groove and the difficulty of getting the tongues to match up the whole way around the perimeter of the frame and also the grooves. I think the easiest and best way to handle this is to cut those two things off. So then I have just two nice straight edges. The final product will turn out a lot better. Some of these tongue and groove edges are banged up pretty bad. Possibly like this one right here. It's all chewed up and not the greatest. And it might be from when they tore it off the barn, or I don't know, it just could have been from old age. But what I'm going to do is cut those off, and then I'm going to come up with a consistent width for the frame. I think I'm going to remove this V groove, so the picture frame will run basically between here and here to just to make a nice uniform front. It'll still have that weathered barn siding look, but will produce a lot nicer product in the end. So I'm going to cut these up and start assembling. I began by cutting off the tongue and grooves, and I did that on both sides. Then I cut each piece to an equal width, cutting off that V groove down the middle. Next, I went to my router table and I just cut a rabbet in the backside to accommodate the glass and the backer board. I went with about a 1/4 inch width on that cut, and then the depth was just the thickness of the glass plus the backer board I was going to use. I then went to my miter saw and just started cutting 45-degree angles on all the pieces that I had cut. I was actually making 5 picture frames, so I had a lot of pieces to cut here, but I cut all those, and then I set up a stop block at the correct length for each side. So I had 2 different lengths because I'm doing 8x10 picture frames. So I had to do 2 of one length for each frame, and then I had to do 2 of another length for each frame, and that gave me the 4 sides I needed for each picture frame. In order to glue the miters together, I decided to use biscuits. I think it just makes a stronger joint. That the butting up of miters and glue, I feel it's a easy place for things to break and pull apart, especially if there's any kind of shrinkage or expansion going on. So I use biscuits. You could use dowels if you wanted, but it also provides a really easy way to line up all the joints so that everything sits nice and flat and even. Simplifies the glue up process significantly. So that's what I chose to use, but there are other ways to do it as well. I then got wood glue out, and I just put glue on the end of each piece, and I put a little bit of glue inside the groove where the biscuit goes, and I pressed them all together, and then I used a ratchet style clamp that has the strap, and it has the metal corner brackets to help hold everything in place, and I just tightened that down that way. It pulled it in really nice and tight, kept everything square, and it turned out really good. So I was happy with that and ready to move on. I wanted to provide a way to hang these on the wall easily. I like it when I can hang things flat against the wall. I will use those sawtooth style hangers that you can buy
when I need to, but if I can, I'll usually just route a keyhole slot in the back of things that are going to hang. So I went to my CNC router and I routed a keyhole slot on two different sides so that the person could hang it in a portrait style view or in a landscape style view. If you are making a picture frame and you do not have a CNC router, you can still do this. You would need a plunge router to do so, and you'd probably want to build some sort of jig or a guide so that you route those grooves in a straight line. But you don't have to have a router at all. Like I said, you can actually just use those sawtooth style hangers that you can buy in any hardware section of a home improvement store, and they would work just fine. I purchased some tabs on Amazon that are designed to hold the backs on of picture frames. These are just screwed into place. I didn't even pre-drill because I didn't have a drill bit as small as these screws, and this was a little bit softer wood. If you were going into hardwood, you would probably want to pre-drill a hole, and all you do is screw them in, and then the tabs just slide in and out of the way. I'm sure you've seen these type of things on picture frames that you've bought in stores. So it works the same way. You just swing them out over the back and they hold the back on, and then when you want to change the picture, you can just swing them back again to the sides, pull that back or board off, and you can change the picture out. I will post a link down in the description of what I purchased so that if you're not sure what you're looking for, you can see exactly what it is.
So here we have the final product, 8x10 picture frame with barn siding. Can be turned either way. Has the mounting holes on the back. So it has a keyhole slot. You can hang it on the wall easily. Convenient. We use these little screwed on slider things that hold the back on. And it's ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe button. Leave me a comment if you have any suggestions, some tips that you saw that maybe I missed, or just any input at all. That'd be great. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear about them. So thanks for watching.